If any tribe wishes to put forth a warrior, I now offer a path to the throne. This iconic phrase was spoken by the hero of the Black Panther film, Zuri. He, of course, was referencing the film Ratatouille when Skinner challenged Linguini to take his place as chef. Little did he know that it was a tag team match in the kitchen. Remy and Linguini versus Skinner, just like the famous 2 versus 1, T'Chaka and Zuri versus Njobu. Join us as we talk about food, movies, and shows on this week's episode of The Sweet Life of Snack and Foodie.
You go, I hate you for your intro.
This is the sweet life. We've got a sweet life. Whatever.
Thank you for tuning in. My name, as always, is Hugo Chan, and with me, I have TV and movie buff Pune, as well as Michelin Guide reader and food connoisseur Albert. Thank you for joining me.
Oh, no problem.
So, we watch a fair bit of shows and movies, and one of the things that connects us to the movies or show, no matter how absurd the premise is the food that is being shown. Some are good, some are bad, and some just have what the French say, je ne sais quoi. I have asked both of you to give me 3 total lists. Movies and shows that you watched and enjoyed, movies and shows that you want to watch, movies and shows that make you go, hell nah, as in you wouldn't recommend it, or I have seen the trailer and don't have an interest in seeing it. So the first one I want to start with is movies and shows that I have watched and enjoyed. For me anyways, I have Ratatouille as my number 1 pick. I don't know between the two of you if you have Ratatouille in there, as you both should.
I mean, it's up there. I wouldn't say it's my number 1. It's up there.
No. Ratatouille literally just sparked my, interest in food. Literally, that final episode where he has, that little thing and, he put the glaze on it, ever since then, I've been dreaming of, eating shit like that, so...
What really made me love Ratatouille is when Colette teaches Linguini how to starting how to cook, because not only is it hard for a female chef to rise through the ranks, but now he has to teach this little newbie into the kitchen, which it's hard to not only worry about what you have to do, but you have to teach somebody else to not be in your way and be a valuable part of this team, as well as emphasizing that in the kitchen everybody is a misfit, but at the same time everybody's also a family member inside the kitchen.
Oh, I never got that, actually. That's a good point. I just really focused on the cute aspect of it, the rat and how he was doing human things, but that's pretty cool. I didn't notice that.
That's what I really took out of it. But realistically, when Remy took over the kitchen, that was unhygienic. That should never have happened.
My biggest takeaway is this is a sanitary problem.
Yeah, it's a sanitary. Even when the rats were cooking, you put every single rat through the dishwasher. I mean, every single rat should have died.
No, rats can swim, actually, so I think they'll
in 100-degree water. That's what's in the dishwasher. They should have died.
Listen, rats are resilient creatures. I think they can do it. Besides, I would totally eat. If it was something to that great, I would totally eat their dish. If I knew the restaurant was filled with rats and they were making the dish and they were putting out food like that, I would still take it. I would still eat it.
His entire family abducted the food inspector.
So to be fair, I am a lot of the good a hole in the wall places probably won't pass a straight up health inspection.
Oh
they're
yeah, God.
But they're great places to eat.
Oh yeah, but what you also don't know is, not only do you not know who's behind those kitchen doors, but when food inspectors come, there are tricks of the trade where chefs go oh shit, a food inspector's here, hide everything, and then
Is that the trick? Hide everything.
Yeah, quote unquote trick.
Hide the rats. They're coming.
Yeah. So that's clearly one of the ones I have watched and enjoyed. What about you guys?
I definitely agree. I think Ratatouille is totally up there. I think that plus anime, a lot of food, anime, One Piece and especially Food Wars is up there too. Especially it's just revolving around food and their food looks so good.
That is over exaggeration of what actually happens in the kitchen.
You mean you don't get naked as soon as you taste really good food?
No, because that's
Look, man.
You could get
If that's the case, you would have a lot more fun time being a chef.
Yeah.
you get arrested for public indecency. You can't do that. Your clothes don't explode after eating food. It's also costly to buy more clothes every single time if your clothes explode while you eat the food.
Hugo, have you lived? If you haven't lived, like you have not lived life unless you got naked after eating really good food. That's what I'm saying. Like you clearly have not lived.
Are you saying you have? This is what I'm getting from this. You have?
Well, I internally, I internally got naked. My soul got naked. Like after going to the keg for the very first time and having that mushroom Neptune, literally my soul just became like bare. I was like, oh my god, this is the best thing I've ever eaten. Like, where can I get the recipe? So
I like how you're giving high praises to the keg, but for our listeners, we're not being sponsored by the keg.
Yeah, keg.
Yeah,
Please
maybe
sponsor
she
me.
is, man. We don't know.
Yeah, well, no, I know we're not being sponsored by the keg. I know that.
I would not mind throwing out those shadows just for a steak dinner. I'll sell my soul for a steak dinner, please.
I think my soul is worth more than a steak dinner, but it's your choice.
Low standards.
Albert, what about you?
For me, I am what people would call a weeb, so I'm more of the anime stuff. So for me, what initially sparked my interest in cooking is a show called Yakitate Japan. It's an old show. It's a baking, but same premise essentially. Essentially, it's the inspiration for a lot of the modern cooking stuff, cooking anime. So that show just gave me the idea of hey, I can create something out of just random things. And
Could you create something out of those random things?
well, to a point, to a point. But for me, it's I'm not the most creative person. You guys play Brothel with me, I'm awful on it.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I am bad at drawing.
it's debatable because everybody is terrible at drawing.
Yes, that's true. But that's for me, my creative outlet is cooking.
Okay.
In some way. So yeah, for me, that's definitely something that I picked up from a young age and growing up. So yeah.
Because food is universal. It doesn't matter where you see food as a medium. It just instantly connects everybody because everybody eats food. So for me, in terms of anime, it's not exactly food per se, but I enjoy watching Bartender as the anime really. The art style is good. There's no real plot to it. It's just multiple episodes of individual storylines of each person. And I just thought it was similar to the culinary world, but just, a drink format.
I've never watched that show. So they just make drinks?
So in terms of art, in terms of the anime Bartender, it is actually, to me, it was therapeutic and calming. It's psychologically breaks down a human that comes into a bar telling the bartender their actual real world problems. Then the bartender makes them the perfect drink to console them, telling them the history of the drink, consoling them with a single drink. There's no real action in the anime, but it allows the viewers to reflect upon themselves as well as really take a look at their own flaws. Like I said, I really enjoy the art style, and the mini series per episode is extremely well done. That's just in my opinion, anyways. The series is over, but I just really enjoyed it.
Yeah, there is a Netflix show like Tokyo Midnight Story or something like that.
Yeah.
Where it's just a bunch of random stories of people going into this one random ramen shop, and they're just talking about their everyday lives.
Yeah, and then it's just
it's very similar, and it's just interesting, It's just a different storytelling,
yeah, I agree. And my final one, I'm sorry taking up like most of this, but my final one is this old show called Yan Can Cook. I don't know if you've heard of it. Maybe Albert, you've heard of it.
It may have been called a different thing in my country.
Maybe.
I remember a show called Cooking Master Boy.
Maybe. But it's like starring Chef Martin Yan, and his phrase is just, if Yan can cook, so can you. And then
Isn't that ripped off of Ratatouille?
no, because Yan Can Cook came before Ratatouille, so Ratatouille ripped it off Yan Can Cook.
Oh wow, the French steals! What a surprise!
Yeah, damn right. Steals cooking phrases, steals from the land. What else do they steal? No, but it's like he just I'm not gonna say dumbs down, but like he simplifies Chinese cooking and makes it like so everybody can do it.
Chinese cooking seems really complicated. Like they use like what ton of spices, and like each have to like work with each other, or else it'll turn like disgusting, like prison food essentially.
Yeah, but this guy, he breaks down what Chinese food is, and then it just makes everything so easy. But this is also a show in 1997, so.
Another show that like I also like sparked my interest for cooking is Iron Chef.
Oh, Iron Chef, yeah.
Iron Chef is like the one where like they just like you have to choose like one of the 3 chefs up in the podium.
Oh.
And then like then it's like there's like this over the top Asian guy who shows like the secret ingredient of the day or something. Like they have to use
The secret ingredient is lobster. Or it's like, what the hell?
It's a great show, man. It's a great show.
I've only seen parodies of it, like from Futurama. I've never actually watched the show, so
It's a very entertaining show. It's one of the first few culinary shows that sparked every other culinary show. Now, if you had the title of Iron Chef, you were actually considered good. But now, as if you had Iron Chef, then it's like, you just appeared on TV.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, it was like Bobby Flay. Like, it was like people you knew. It was like
when Bobby Flay was actually like, when Iron Chef Bobby Flay was actually considered good and not like random
shout
TV.
out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess it's because like now people are like moved on to like, for example, like Gordon Ramsay. So like I guess you know Gordon Ramsay had like when you work with Gordon Ramsay, you're just like, oh my god, Gordon Ramsay. So like I would say like MasterChef and like Hell's Kitchen, Kitchen Nightmares, like those are like the most popular, and like I love those shows. Like those shows, I'm just like, how dare you like mix in raw onions like in your soup while I'm like eating like corn out of a can, literally like.
But what you don't see behind MasterChef and those shows is there's actually, with MasterChef anyways, they actually do teach the contestants behind the scenes, but then they just like edit those entire scenes out.
I always wondered. I'm like, how are they making this? Like they like say like, oh, make this like type of like new dish, and like I always wonder, I'm like, how the hell do they know how to make this stuff?
No, they actually have the recipes on them, and they actually do teach them behind the scenes. But it's much more not, I'm not going to say entertaining to show them just cooking, but you don't get as many viewers if you watch them teach the contestants.
It's also a matter of like knowing how to do something theoretically doesn't mean you can actually do it.
Yeah, that's true.
Like just because you have the recipe in front of you, you can still easily mess it up, or like you can put your own like twist to the dish, right?
Yeah, and I was about to say with Hell's Kitchen. With Hell's Kitchen, you see him being much more aggressive towards the chef, contestants. But you also have to realize these people are professionals. That's why he's much more aggressive towards them.
Also,
and
some of them are dumb, like really dumb. Like there was this one lady who was like a quote unquote like she took cooking classes, and like she was teaching other people, and like she was charging like $300 to teach people, and like her like dish was like her signature dish was like disgusting. It looked like diapers according to him. So like he has to be hard on them. Like they're full of like they have so much ego.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's once you're in the kitchen, it's very hard for you to push your ego aside, because everybody that comes in, the head of wherever they're at, or like they were top of wherever they're at. But now they're going back to at base, like the quote unquote the lowest ranking that you can possibly be in the kitchen, and it's hard for them to push their egos aside and actually follow the rules when they drop from so high.
But the thing is that you're working with like a guy who's like well known. He has like so many Michelin stars, right? So like
Yeah.
I would come in knowing like I'm like crap. I'm nothing compared to this guy. So like I'm
Yeah.
surprised that these people don't know. You know what I mean? Coming
No,
in.
they
No.
know, but they're just like, yeah, but like, oh, it's also a matter of like different like how. Here's the thing though, people like you, they won't cast you. It's not fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Like they want someone who's like who would like clash with them, right? Who would like, oh yeah, I know you have all these Michelin stars and whatever, but I can prove it. I'm just as good as you. They would cast those people.
You're
Yeah,
right.
to Albert's point, at the end of the day, it is a TV show.
Yeah, it would make good TV. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
The same way where you rarely see like I wouldn't be able to get into the stupid Amazing Race. Like I would just be like a liability to anybody who would go with me. But like it's not good TV.
Yeah. Do you guys have any more shows that you have watched and shows/movies that you have watched and enjoyed?
I really liked Anthony Bourdain's show where he went around the world and like tried different foods and stuff like that. I thought that was really cool.
Have you watched that show already?
Like I watched it previously, like certain episodes, like where he went to Iran and like I think he went to like Thailand and he was eating like random stuff like blood, like something, or like I thought it was really cool that he was he was a true like chef because he would eat
like
everything.
down to earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's that also like unless Albert has anything more to add to those movies or shows that he's watched and enjoyed. For this part, that actually brings me to the next list, which is like movies and shows that I want to watch. And it's interesting that you bring up Anthony Bourdain's TV show because two of his shows, No Reservations and Parts Unknown, those are two of the shows that I really want to watch because, like you said, he's really down to earth. He'll try everything like a chef, and he actually goes and discovers like hole in the wall places, like the local stuff, and actually discovers that okay, this stuff is actually a lot better than the fancy cuisine. And then the only gripe I really have with his two shows is that they're so similar. He just could have probably add them back to back and just added another season and it'd be the same. But
Well, I mean, that's what Gordon Ramsay did too, and it's essentially the same, and it worked for him.
yeah, but it's Gordon Ramsay. You people get off with him yelling at people.
Man, I wish I could make a living off of yelling people. I would totally like.
I mean, if you become a YouTuber for it, you can try it.
Just go up to random people. This is bloody raw.
You can sign up to be an e-girl and play with like random people. Someone would be into you yelling at them.
This is going off topic, a little too off topic, but I'll consider that. I'll look into it. Maybe I'll make like a couple bucks.
Yeah. Is there any shows that you guys want to watch though?
Right, for me, like I need to watch like any like the baking shows. Like
Oh, okay.
Yes, I agree.
like Cake Boss, I think is one of them. Great British Bake Off. I've never watched them because one, I've other things to watch because it just wasn't on the priority list.
Yeah.
And also, like, this is my rationale. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I need to lose weight, so I can't learn to bake because
Well,
I'd
mate.
essentially be killing myself.
All you have to do is get the vegan stuff, man. Vegan stuff, no
Yeah, but
sugar.
Who wants vegan food? Come on, man. Get out of here! Get out of here, dude! Come on.
Yeah, well.
Like, he doesn't like. You get like my thing. That's like, if I know how to make cheesecake, I'll just make cheesecake all the time.
That's true.
No, it has. The thing is that baking it takes a lot of like effort and like precision. So I think that if you have no patience, you should like not attempt baking at all. Like it takes too much time, honestly.
That's also part of it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work
Uh,
for like just a bit of stuff for like the gratification at the end, right?
Yeah, you might as well just go buy like store-bought like Walmart cake or like cookies
but
and
that's
stuff.
but that's all cooking. Like it's a lot of
Yeah,
effort
that's
just
true.
for somebody to eat it in like 5 minutes. And, like, we spend an entire day on it, but then they eat it in 5 minutes.
You know what? I think that's the biggest problem with cooking shows. They raise your expectations. So like for example, Food Wars, you know, like the pork roast, the gotcha pork roast. Like when the first time I
Uh,
saw that, I was like, okay, man, I can make this. Like, let me
Did
look
you
up
try to?
recipes. Pardon?
Did you try to?
I tried making it one time and like I psyched myself up so high. I was like, yeah, I can do it. Like, you know, it's gonna be so good. And when I made it, it was like disappointing. It like crushed me. It was like prison food. And like in my family, we have certain levels of food. We have like good food, like enjoyable food. We have food to survive, which means like, you know, this is like just the bare minimum of like like food to just to like survive on life. And then there's prison food where it's like disgusting. Like you wouldn't even give it to prisoners to eat. And like oftentimes when I see like these recipes and I try them out, it's prison food, and it like crushes my soul. So I think that you know food shows should come with like a little label, be like, "Do not attempt at home," like or else you'll be disappointed with life.
but what kind of show it's like? Do not attempt at home. It's like you want to attempt this stuff at home. That's the whole point of the food show.
That's the whole point of, of cooking shows. Like, hey, you can also do this.
No, I think it's unrealistic expectations. You know.
Another show that I really want to watch is The Ugly Delicious by David Chang. It's essentially Anthony Bourdain's No Reservation and Parts Unknown show, but it's with a different chef. It's Ugly Delicious is breaking down the ugly parts of the food as well, and then looking at the culinary hotspots around the world, and just breaking down the misconceptions to the ugly parts of the food, and they're actually the best part of the food. They're actually the tastiest part of the food.
So when you say ugly, you mean like what? Like the meats and stuff, or like the
Like-
ingredients?
Could be the
Like,
like,
let's-
the quote unquote lower quality meat, right?
The lower quality food. The lower quality foods. Like if you go like a chicken, let's say using a chicken as an example, most people would use the chicken breast. Like everybody would use the chicken breast. But what about the chicken neck? What about the chicken feet? Most people would throw it out. But there are cultures that will eat the chicken neck, chicken feet, and it's actually like one of the more delicious parts of the
Dude, we eat
animal as
that
well.
as like barbecue, unlike it's like grilled. They just put those.
Yeah,
and grill
it's
them.
absolutely delicious. And then there's like misconceptions about it where, oh, you can't eat it. There's no meat. There's nothing to it. But realistically, a lot of people do actually eat these parts, and it's actually quite delicious.
Yeah, did you know like so in the Philippines like when we would like I killed a pig once because like we were gonna use it to for like a family reunion or something. There's
Sure.
a lot of people, right? So they just took a whole pig, like, yeah, let's use this entire thing. So they made me slit its throat
Yeah.
to kill it. But the thing is, there's a reason why they split the throat. So when you split its throat, so that the blood like drains out slowly, because they use the blood. You don't just kill it, because they use the blood for different types of food. And then so
Albert.
then
How old were you when you did this? Just wondering.
like 10.
You were 10?
Yeah, they literally was like, hey, yeah, a bunch of people were like drinking around the pig and like, hey, you should try to do this. I'm like, all right. So then I just slit the throat, and then the pig was like screaming for like 25 minutes while the blood slowly drained out.
Jeez.
Yeah, but like when that occurs, we use every single part.
Yeah,
of
like
every single part of the pig.
That's why you just slit the throat, because they use the blood for a stew. Then they use like literally all the parts, like skin, the they use the hoof,
Ears,
hooves.
the
They
hooves.
use it for stock for like for some stews. Yeah, like everything is used.
Yeah, so like quote unquote the sacrifice of the pig wasn't for nothing. You're actually feeding the family for their
Yeah,
sacrifice.
my family's massive.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds pretty like economically like reliable and all that stuff too. That's good.
Yeah. And yeah, so another show that I uh, want to watch is Mind of a Chef by David Chang, just because it's part of my profession. I'd like to know what other chefs' mind like how a chef's mind works. Another one is Jiro Dreams of Sushi. I assume you guys have heard of that.
I have watched it. If we go to Japan, we're going to that shop.
Oh, I know. Yeah, if we go to
But
Japan.
we need to find a Japanese person.
Yeah, I
only
know.
serve people who can speak Japanese.
And
Either that or we need to learn.
yeah, and Chef's Table. Most of my stuff is on Netflix, but Chef's Table, one of the shows that I want to watch, just because it delves into the mind of a chef and what they do.
I didn't know there were so many like cooking shows out there, to be quite honest.
Yeah. Most of them I don't want to watch, but some of them are actually really well done.
Like, not even just nothing. Like, even just in YouTube, like Babish in YouTube, like he made a good career of himself.
I have to admit, I didn't think I'd like his. I didn't think I'd like the way he's cooking, or like how he presented himself while cooking. But after watching a couple videos of his, he actually does a really well done job of like cooking and like portraying how he cooks it and whatnot, and it's actually very entertaining to watch.
I think it's like a good middle ground between like amateur chef and like a professional chef. It's like he's like in the middle of that.
Yeah, it's really
you
good.
don't
He
get,
does
like-
like
Yeah, so you don't
He does
get
a really
super scared of like, oh, I can't do that. Like, oh, he's like, oh no, I can do it. Like, you can do it.
he does a really good step by step like on how to make it, so anybody can do it. What about you guys? Is there anything that you want to watch?
I kind of want to watch some Martha Stewart or like Paula Deen shows, to be quite honest.
Like the old show.
Like, yeah, the old ones. I want to see what the hype was. Like, a lot of people love their shows and like would be like, oh my god, Martha Stewart made this amazing brownie recipe. Like, I've always wanted to try it, but again, it seems like it's a very tedious type of thing. You have to like watch like the steps. Oh, okay, now it's commercial. Okay, now rewatch it. But it's one thing I would like to, start watching just to see if I could try it out. But yeah, just the commercials I think would kill me.
Yeah. Pune, you know what you should watch? You should watch Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg's potluck dinner.
I heard about it. It's so weird that they're friends too.
Fun
Yeah, I
fact,
know.
Only one of those two have gone to jail.
Yeah, and it's the one that you don't expect.
What about you, Albert? Is there any movies or shows
Oh yeah,
that you want to watch?
It's the baking show. Like, I need to watch them.
Oh, yeah.
but I was like, if I learn to cook this, man.
If
It's just
I
it's just gonna be
yeah.
bad for me. And now I have so much time on my hands too, so I'm like, damn it, I don't want to.
Yeah. So now that we've talked about movies and shows that you want to watch, how about movies and shows that I will stay the hell away from?
All right.
Do you have a list? Do you have a list of that?
Okay, unpopular
Yes.
opinion time
Okay.
for me. If you've never watched it, stay the hell away from Food Wars.
Food Wars.
What?
Okay, again, unpopular opinion time. Okay? I'm saying this because I know the ending of this, and it's bad.
Are you talking about the anime?
Yes. Like,
Why?
Yes, the ending is bad. Like, season
Okay.
5 is gonna be bad.
Oh, you're just talking about the plot line
Yeah,
to
no
this.
one
now.
Well,
watches
no,
that
it's
show
okay.
for the plot.
No, here's the
Yeah.
thing though. Okay, wait, there's a good reason. I have a defense for this. Okay? The problem with that is, you know that thing, you know how Game of Thrones, like, there's so much hype with the show, and then season 8 happens, and then nobody cares anymore.
Mm.
That's gonna happen. And you said it's the plot. It's not just the plot. That's part of it. It's not just the plot.
Well,
There's
you're
no cooking in the 5th season. There's little to no cooking. Like one of the main reasons that people want to watch, like Food Wars is because it's, because among the other things, among the characters, the character design, and the story's the story's okay, but it's the characters and the food, right?
yeah.
You'd say that there's no food. in the last season. I'm telling you right now, there's no food in the last season. Because essentially, it fell into the trap. Like, okay, so it fell into what they like to call the Dragon Ball Z trap. You know how Dragon Ball Z is like it used to be that, oh, you have to save a town, and then you have to save the world, then you have to save Namek, and then you have to save the universe. And like in the latest movie, like they're fighting like a god or something, like the escalation. They tried to do that in a cooking show. It doesn't work. Because and also what happened was, I think the author had a chef as a consultant, because that's why they can make the realistic looking food, But that chef went on maternity leave. So the author was like, oh, it literally, there's in the last arc, which is the upcoming season 5, there were like 6 dishes total. And this is gonna be like 12 episodes. And they cooked 6 dishes.
Dead children. They ruin everything. To be fair,
take away from it.
I didn't watch the end of Food War, so I did not know this.
You can watch it, but like for me, it's like, because like the first 2 seasons, like first 2-3 seasons of it is so good, it hurts so much for it to go down like that. Like the end is so bad. Like again, like the plot has always been mediocre. It's a high school plot, blah blah blah. But what carried it was the food and the characters. In season 5, there's no food, and 90% of the characters don't show up.
Yeah, and if that's gone, there goes the show.
You make a valid point.
Like again, like if you have never seen it, or if you want to see it until the bitter end, because you're invested like I was in the manga, go for it. I'm saying it's gonna be painful. Unless they make an anime original ending, which I don't think they will, because they don't have the budget for it, because the manga got cancelled. Again, the manga got cancelled. They had I think the author had 3 chapters to wrap it up, because the sales plummeted that hard. It plummeted so hard that Shonen Jump was like, all right, dude, you have 3 chapters to finish this up. We're canceling you.
Wow. What a way to get fired.
That bad. So that's my unpopular opinion.
Wait, is that the only one that you was you're gonna stay the hell away from?
That's my big one. I have to think of the other one.
Okay. What about you, Pune?
I think honestly, my biggest stay away, and I don't think I'd ever watch, just because the aesthetic of him is Guy Fieri.
I was about to say that as well.
I think
any show by that guy, fuck that.
Yeah.
Screw that. Screw that.
When I look at him, I think he would produce is just really greasy, big American food. Not eloquent, very pleasant, when you see food, it's supposed to warm your heart. It's supposed to give you, hope in life. When I see things that he makes, just pictures or just him, I just get disappointment. I'm just what is life now? So I would not watch his shows. I don't think it's worth watching, honestly.
It warms your heart with heartburn.
Yeah, with heartburn. Yeah, exactly.
It gives me
watching
heartburn.
Him, I would have to take a Tums.
For me, anyways, it's gonna be surprising, anyways. But it's gonna be Gordon Ramsay's new show, 24 Hours to Hell and Back.
What's that?
I did watch a few episodes of that, and I got tired of it. I got through 3 episodes, I'm I'm done with it.
It's kitchen nightmares, but they're not egotistical owners or ignorant owners. They're just incompetent. And then Gordon Ramsay's all right, because they're not egotistical, I'll only give them 24 hours to fix them, and which 24 hours, more likely than not, is possible with his budget.
So people who are actually suffering get only 24 hours, versus people who are stupid and brought it upon themselves get a whole week.
Yeah,
technically three days, but yeah. Kitchen Nightmares is only entertaining because they're ignorant. With 24 Hours to Hell and Back, they're not ignorant, they're just incompetent.
Yeah, it's just sad. It becomes oh, I can't do this simple dish.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And my final one that I'm gonna stay the hell away from, and ideally you both of you never watch it. It's a hot topic, so be ready. Sausage Party, the movie.
I watched that
agree.
movie. I watched that movie.
I hated that movie. I thought it was the stupidest movie ever.
Sausage Party. It makes no sense whatsoever.
The final scene too, man. Like, you don't
You
get that
watched
out of,
it?
you don't get that out of your mind, man.
You watch Sausage Party?
I watched Sausage Party.
Oh my god.
It was
Never.
Because it was a Tuesday and I was bored. Okay.
Never, ever.
Literally, like, it's just, I don't get it. Like, I know it's supposed to be maybe a stoner film, and like maybe there's jokes like that I didn't understand, and I was like, okay, like whatever. But like, I just don't get it. What is the appeal of that type of movie? You know, like I understand like the
even the
food
stoners
concept, that's
like it.
fine, but like it's just like it's so sexual. Like, oh my god, like that's if I wanted to watch something like that, I might as well just watch porn.
Yeah, I don't think even the stoners liked it, man.
Well, Seth Rogen made it, so I mean.
Seth Rogen clearly has some sexual issues or some repression that he needs to deal with, because like that was just too much.
To be fair, not a lot of his like recent ones have been like winners. Like I think his last few ones were like The Interview. Remember that one? The one with Kim Jong Un. That one was one of them, and then didn't they make like a parody of The Room or something?
Do you guys have anything? Do you guys have anything else that you want to warn viewers to stay away from?
Let me think. There was one actually.
I don't know, like there's a lot of like shows on Netflix that are like just like cooking shows and stuff. I don't know. I think
There are also a lot of shows on the Food Channel where I just think they're just a repeat of everything.
You know what? That show Salt something something like Salt Science or something. What is it on Netflix? It's just that new show that like let me look
Right,
it up.
let me open Netflix. Let's see what.
Salt, fat, and acid and heat. Like I don't get it. What is it supposed to be? Like is it supposed to be like a science like show? Like show you why like certain foods taste good? Like I never watched it, but I don't like it doesn't look appealing to me at all.
Yeah, well, I don't understand it just from the name itself. I don't understand it.
Oh,
I think
it's salt, fat, acid, heat.
yeah, I think anyone can come up with like a cooking show and might be popular now, honestly. Like the AI. Oh, one thing I will never get, and I guess it could be considered food show, is ASMR videos of like mukbang. Oh my god, when people like eat and they're like I'm just like disgusted. I don't know how people can listen to that for like 30 minutes of like slurping and like this is so good, guys, so delicious, so juicy. Like that's just like that I'll never get, and I would say never watch it. It's like too disturbing to watch.
I mean, I kind of get mukbangs, but it's kind of just like talking to someone, kind of like a low key like chatting with like a streamer. But like an ASMR mukbang, all right, that's
Yeah, like
right.
you're right. It's a social like aspect, but like, what's so social about listening to someone like slurping in your ear? Like I could do that like on a regular basis, and like people would stay away from me. No one would come out to dinner.
Well,
with me.
please do not do that if I ever talk to you.
Next time, I'm just gonna come up to Albert and be like, "Hey, Albert, this is so good. Do you want some?"
You stay the hell away from me. Yeah, so thank you for joining us on this riveting episode. We ran out of time and couldn't talk about the life and times of Jamie Oliver's business failures. We'll see you next time on Sweet Life of Snack and Foodie.
Thanks for having us.